since we are already taking care of that by providing a VDD here, the simulator will place a constant current source inside this in order to connect your noise into VGS, and then simulation will take in place to give you more realistic value of the influence of your noise into the output stages buffers. So what do we have in IBS models? When you do a receive mode configuration, we see that one need to have a parasitic diode currents, ESC protection circuit currents, and then if there is any on determinations and pull down resistance data need to be present. Likewise, static overshoot protections, clamps, voltages, and current measurements basically. So same goes for drive mode. Everything which you see in receive mode will be present, uh, but with pull up and pull down driver currents, also with dynamic clamps and bus hold circuits currents, and integrate active terminations currents. So this plus these need to be there in case when you're using as a drive mode configuration. Okay. So if you are having a IO configurations, you will need to configure, you need to have all these data present inside your IBS model file. Now, why one need to capture information respect to twice the VDD rail voltage? So if your IC is designed to function at 5 volt, I should be capturing data ideally at 5 volt. But in order to uh, capture the reflections, the reflection when your transmission lines propose the challenges like reflections, reflections will basically overshoot, and your simulator need to have this data present inside the IBS model file. So we tend to go double the voltage swing and capture these data to make sure that these informations are very well captured inside the simulator. Same goes for power clamps and ground clamps. Now we will talk about signal integrity issues. So far we have seen only EMI. We have seen how a hyperlinks DRC can help you to understand the geometries which are basically having a radiated EMI challenges. Then we will now we'll look into signal integrity challenges, which are basically uh, how these overshoot and ring issues are present inside your signal, or what causes these issues to be there. Okay. So just to give you a little bit of these measurements, the measurement which is taken from VCC. Okay, so the blue one, the dashed line which you see is basically a driver. The red ones which you see is a receiver. Okay, the signal at receiver, and you will see that the signal is rising above the VCC voltage, and from the VCC threshold to the maximum voltage is what we call as rise rail overshoot. Okay, similarly, once you capture details, or once you measure from a steady state condition, which is this, to the maximum voltage it has rised up to, is known as signal integrity rise overshoot. Similarly, you have fall rail overshoot and fall SI overshoot. Prior to looking into these challenges, we should first understand what is a lossless transmission line. A lossless transmission line used to propagate energy, powers, sometimes in optical fiber lights, situations like this. Okay. and it basically consists of two conductors. One is for signal path, one is for return current path, and it basically function on TEM mode, transfer electromagnetic mode. That means it will generate EM energies to the next reference planes as long as it travels to from point A to point B. And it is zero in resistance. It is uniform in cross section ideally, and it extends indefinitely. That means there's a limited length of a line, and then you will also see a couple of electrical parameters in a lossless transmission lines, which are propagation delay proposed by your transmission line, and then characteristic impedance. The very first understanding is, when should I consider my conductor track on a PCB as a transmission line? Uh, so this we can calculate. Okay, this we can calculate by having a formula called critical line calculation. But maybe prior to which, I'll just try to show you how a transmission line models or lossless transmission line models look like inside uh, your trace. So now there are two type of transmission modeling. One is lumped model, and one is distributed model. A lumped model is basically is when you know when you take all the L and you take all the C's and combine into one L and combine into one C is seen by your transmission line. It can be modeled as a lumped lossless transmission models. Okay. In case of distributed model, each inch or each unit per length area will be modeled as LC series. So I'm telling as a lossless because we haven't modeled any resistor here. Okay, and that is why we call as lossless. If it is resistor, that means it will start dissipating energy, and we don't want that to happen inside a transmission line. So when should we consider your transmission line acting as a distributed model which represent challenges like signal integrity? Okay, the characteristic impedance of a transmission line can be simply calculated by square root of L over C. And if you would like to calculate propagation velocity seen in the transmission line, you can do by calculating 1 over square root of L multiplied by C. Okay, the calculation is shown here to understand that when is your track acting as a transmission line. So there is a concept called critical length. If your signal signal edge rate is order of a or I would say if your edge rate wavelength, okay, or let's say in a signal edge rate is basically known as the rise time is equal to the propagation delay of a transmission line. Your transmission line would your conductor would be acting as a transmission line, and one need to model as a distributed model. Okay, here is an example of what would happen if you have a rise time which is order of 1 nanosecond, and the delay per unit length seen in a conductor which is order of 170 picosecond. So if we have a condition like this, that means 1 inch of a track will have a 170 picosecond, okay, which is lesser, much lesser than the rise time. Okay, and this is where you would start getting signal integrity challenges. Okay, if you see a condition like this, then you should start investigating and doing analysis of signal integrity. And if you are below this, then you don't have to fall under this criteria at all. What is reflection? Now we understand that once you have